Good morning, guys. Welcome to Tyler's Talking Sports. So it's either Monday morning or it's Thursday morning because we drop 2 episodes weekly at 6 a.m. Monday morning and Thursday morning. Monday morning's episode will be called Off the Record, where we talk about a little bit of everything. We just sit back, two guys talking about sports. My name is Tyler Hess. On the other side of the mic, you're going to hear from my brother from another mother, Tyler Castle. We talk sports. We're going to become your favorite sports podcast. You're going to want to listen to us. But Mondays, we have Off the Record. Thursday morning is where you find out what's getting ready to happen this upcoming Saturday in college football. We go over the biggest matchups, who's going to win the Heisman, who we think is going to win. We also talk about the local games here in Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee. So we're so glad to have you guys, but do us one favor. It's one itty-bitty favor. If you don't care, whatever it is you're listening on, because, guys, we on everything. We on all major podcasting platforms, and we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. So be sure you hit that follow button. Be sure you follow us, subscribe to us, do whatever you can. Every little bit helps, guys, and we appreciate everything. We're doing this for you guys, and we hope you fall in love with us. Love us or hate us, we feel like you're going to come back. Thank you, guys. Enjoy this episode.
This episode is brought to you by Next Level Fitness Club in Lebanon, Virginia. 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. They are a 24/7 gym facility, 24/7 tanning. They also offer certified personal training and certified functional fitness classes to fit all needs. If you're in the market for a gym membership, this is a great place to hit up. Hit up Ethan, Tyler, or Jordan at any of their numbers, and check out their website at www.nextlevelfitnessclub276.com.
This episode is brought to you by Little's Lawn Care. Little's Lawn Care is the all-you-need lawn care people. You need your yard mowed. You need your leaves blowed out of your yard. You need your gutters cleaned out. Contact Little's Lawn Care at 276-698-5104. Again, that number is 276-698-5104. You can text them and you can call him. His name is Brandon Little. He's an incredible person, and be sure you let him know that Tyler sent you.
And we're live! Season 2, Episode 21, Off the Record. This is Episode 3 of Off the Record series. First time joining us here, Tyler's Talking Sports. We sure do appreciate having you. Happy Monday morning. On the other side of the mic, we have my brother from another mother, Tyler Hess, and myself, Tyler Castle. And what we do here is we talk college sports, primarily college football, with Off the Record, including some other sports as well, which we'll get into towards the end of the episode. But happy Monday morning. Hopefully y'all are bright and early, awake, drinking that coffee, ready to get the work week started. And happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day, guys.
Happy Veterans Day. Thanks to all veterans out there who are serving or who are currently, or who have served, rather. Couldn't do what we love to do without you all. So
absolutely,
shout out to the
Veterans
veterans.
Day, guys.
That is a free shout out. I'll leave that one there.
Oh, yeah.
One time.
America, baby.
America, baby. America first.
Yep.
Hess, got some big news again, don't we?
We got some big news, man.
Big news coming.
Yep, we're heading to Boone.
Heading to Boone. In case y'all haven't heard, if you haven't listened to the previous episodes or checked us out on our social medias, we're heading to Boone November 23rd. We are getting closer and closer, guys.
I want to point this out to you.
Yeah.
I was checking, some stuff. And what was that thing I sent you yesterday? I was like, it'd be real funny if what happened while we were down there.
Can't have no SNOW.
Well, they're calling for a snowstorm to come through, or a snow system to come through that on the 22nd of November. Temperatures are going to be down in the 30s as highs. And, Southwest Virginia, where we're at, it's kind of like maybe a hit or miss, but the mountains of North Carolina showing they could get some pretty good snow. So, yeah, bundle up, bud.
Bundle up, baby. Gonna be cold. Gonna have to give me some hottie toddies or something, man. Keep me warm. Jesus.
We'll see if they've announced a time yet.
Need some hand warmers.
Hand warmers,
hot chocolate.
Still TBD?
Yeah, still TBD on time. App State did play this past weekend. I just wanted to – actually, they played on Thursday night. They did play Coastal Carolina. They ended up losing 38-24.
Yeah.
It's kind of been the story this season. They're 4-5 now. Yeah, I don't know, man. They got to win these last two to make a bowl.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. The way this college football season's went, could be an upset brewing. We're going to be down there. The last game we went to in person, Tyler's Talking Sports, was Tennessee versus Alabama, and we seen an upset there. So,
yeah,
hey,
what a game!
Maybe we bring the upsets.
Maybe we can bring the upsets. I tried to bring it yesterday, but it just didn't. Saturday, but it just didn't happen.
If you don't know what he's talking about, guys, he's going to touch base on in a minute. He was at the Tech Clemson game.
I sure was, baby.
But
I sure was.
Before we get into that, we had a big game. We had the Southwest Virginia Bowl. You don't know about Southwest Virginia Bowl? That is between UVA Wise, Emory, and Henry. Two schools separated by, what would you say, an hour? Hour and a half?
Yeah, at max.
Max, yeah, an hour. Real local programs here. Really just one's heading in an astronomical direction, and another one's just kind of flatlined on us here lately. But
yeah,
Emory just absolutely came out and did what I said they was going to do, and 62-14 over UVA Wise.
I didn't expect it to be that bad.
That was take you out to the woodshed and then bend you over and find out you have no toilet paper. Kind of.
Yeah, oh man, got to use my hand. You know, one of those. Yeah, Emory sets the record, 62-14 win over Wise. Man, that is crazy. The Wasps secured their 6th Southwest Virginia Bowl title and their 3rd consecutive win in the series. If we had our special correspondent, Seth Stanley, we don't have him today. He's too busy doing good in class, so we can't have him on here right now. But, you know, he would tell us that, you know, Emory ain't been in this conference that long.
Nope.
And UVA Wise has been in there since 2014.
Yeah.
So, man.
Yeah,
what's in the water?
I mean, just like I said, Emory's just taking a wholly different path in the football program. I think Wise is doing a lot better on the basketball side of things, but on the football side of things, Emory's got their number.
They really do, man. 3rd consecutive win. I don't see this changing anytime soon either, just being honest. Like you said, I think Emory's just a step ahead. This victory did mark the largest point total in program history for the Wasps against an NCAA Division II opponent, and was the most points scored since they tallied 66 at Guilford College in 2021. It's impressive. 62 points. I think they had 4 picks is what.
Where you go? I go to Guilford.
Yeah.
Down there at Guilford.
Guilford.
Maybe it's Guilford.
Guilford. I think it's Guilford.
I don't like it.
Guilford. Guilford. What we're going with. Right. Final answer.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Man.
Yeah. You know what? Boy Dewey Lusk. Showed up.
Balled out.
I went against him. He showed up. They beat St. Andrews 38-14.
Yes, they did.
Good job, Bluefield. Way to go, guys. Way to go, Bluefield Rams.
I found that on Facebook. I looked on their website. Wasn't there yet.
He really gets attacked that website every time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let them know. Like, if they ever watch the episode into this point, like, get your score updated. Trying to throw some happiness out here. Your team won. Get your website updated.
Poor guys.
Not throwing shade or anything, but just saying.
I think you are.
Get your website updated.
They are NAI.
Oh, it is what it is, right? Am I right? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, big win. I mean, they beat a defeated St. Andrews team, 38-14. What the reason I say defeated, they have yet to win a game. They're 0-9 or 0-10 now. Yeah. I think 0-9.
Hey, only one way to go for them is up.
Just got to win that last game, baby.
That's right.
Got to start somewhere. Got to start winning streak somewhere.
Yeah, boy.
ETSU.
On the road.
Nope, Western.
This was not on the road. Sorry, this was
home
City.
This was Darius Rucker, baby.
Yeah, boy. They broke a record. Biggest crowd they've ever had.
Really? 12,000.
12,160.
12,160.
Biggest crowd they've ever had.
This was a very big game.
Yep.
Geno English, he played quarterback the entire game. As we know, the previous game they did dual quarterback with him and Jalen. Jalen King, do your thing, Jalen. But yeah, they went single quarterback, and they did something which I said they needed to do this game. They had some rushing yards. Last game they had 11 yards, was the leading rusher, which is Bryson Irby. He had 79 yards on 21 carries. So that right there is my opinion, what led him to the win. What's the final? 27-24? Is that the final?
Yeah, it was 27-24 is the final. I think that's the big thing here. I mean, I know Coach Lamb and his offense is the air raid offense, but I think having that run game helps that. But I do think them going to Geno English shows that maybe he's got a better arm for the system. Maybe he fits that play scheme better. And good for ETSU. Way to get a win here. Big win. Let's finish out strong, and let's see if we can make a playoff run.
Yeah, I think they can. That's 6 wins on the season, right?
Yep, that's 6.
Nice.
Yep.
Talk about another program turned it around. Really, I mean, just from starting, pretty much. I mean, really coming coming to form.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think they made the jump fast. I mean, they bam, bam, bam. I mean, they were
Yeah.
up there, you know. So
Bam, 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 bam.
good for
Bam.
TSU. I mean, I say they're 4 or 5 years out, and you'll be seeing them in the Sun Belt or something like that for the FBS level.
Yeah, I guarantee it. I guarantee you're right.
Yeah. Got some big news out of the big boys, out of the ACC. Florida State, they have a firing, but it's not Mike Norvell. They did fire their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, and rumors are they're cleaning out the entire staff and just going back to scratch. I would say that this is probably the last straw with Norvell. If this doesn't show any improvement, then maybe he's gone in the offseason. Maybe not. Maybe, hey, let's see what happens. But big things happening there. Other things that came out this week, coaching news, you had the Florida Gators. They said they're sticking with Billy Napier, but there was nothing in the letter or anything that said that they're looking toward him being the coach in 2025. I know there's a lot of people out there saying that they're committed to him through 2025. There's nothing out there, even including in the public release, that says 2025, says they're sticking with him for the rest of this year. After the butt kicking they took yesterday or Saturday, I would say I don't think he makes it. I don't think he makes it through. If they lose one more game, but even they're not making a bowl, I think he's fired before the end of December because they did all that. Granted, I know that what's his face, Lagaway, he was game time decision. He decided they couldn't go, but they looked terrible. They looked absolutely terrible. And I know Texas is pretty good, but they looked so bad. And if I'm Florida, I'm moving on. And other coaching news too. There's rumors, nothing official, but there's a lot of rumors that Brian Kelly is in the hot seat with LSU.
I'm sure.
After last night's game, and the leading candidate for that job is Deion Sanders.
Really?
There's a lot of talk about that. There's actually a picture out there with him in LSU gear.
Wouldn't that be something?
So they're talking about that. But yeah, other than that, you had the AP rankings come out Sunday around 2 o'clock. Had some big changes there. You had a couple teams drop way out because of some losses. You had some teams move up. The biggest thing was you had Indiana moving to the top 5. I think it's the first time in program history. They made it to the top 5. Georgia drops out of the top 10 for the first time since 2018. Ole Miss reappears in the top 10 for the first time since earlier this year. Alabama moves up 2 spots and back into the top 10. Miami drops 8 spots to number 12. Boise State, SMU both drop respectively. Army, Clemson move up 2 spots. Colorado moves up 3 spots to 18. Right now, Colorado is in the driver's seat to make the college football playoff. All they got to do is win out and win their Big 12 championship, and they're in. Washington State, still 8-1. LSU drops 7 positions to 21st. Ultimately, that game against Alabama was an elimination game, so you can go ahead and pack your bags. They're going to a regular bowl, no playoff for them. And entering the top 25, new teams, some that were there before, some that weren't. South Carolina, 23rd in the country. Missouri back in the top 25 at 24. And welcome to the top 25, Tulane. So,
rightfully so.
AP poll, I mean, you kind of talked about it a little bit when it came out about some stuff. Tennessee not sitting in the top 5. You had a little bit on that one. Coaches poll has them sitting at 4.
Yeah.
Right now, big thing though, everybody's what the playoff range is going to look like. And there's a lot of stipulation too saying now that Georgia might be out because of the way the AP polls got them Ole Miss ranked 10th. Not really sure that playoff ranking. This is really going to show us this playoff ranking. Where do they put Miami? Where do they put Georgia?
Yeah, we still got 2 weeks left. So, a lot's going to change. I know.
Well, here's the thing, too. Teams like Oregon, Texas, Indiana, or teams like, well, we got to look here. The Big Ten, Oregon, Texas, and then you're looking at BYU and Notre Dame would be your top 4, would be your 4 buys. That would be your top 4 in the playoff based off the AP poll. That's how they want to go with it because you got to put your conference champions. Actually, no, sorry. It would be Oregon, Texas, BYU, and Colorado. That would be your top 4 seeds. And then you'd be looking at Ohio State hosting a playoff game, Penn State hosting a playoff game, Indiana would now host a playoff game, and Notre Dame would host a playoff game. Tennessee would travel, Alabama would travel, Georgia would travel, Ole Miss would travel.
In a way, you kind of want to be like in the. I mean, you want to have the home field advantage for this, definitely. I think.
But stipulate. Absolutely.
I think. I mean, I know it's first year in playoffs, but we've talked about this before previously. But I think it's like baseball. I don't want that bye, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
just keep playing.
Here's going to be the thing that you're going to hear here. Let's just hypothetically just throw a team out there. Indiana. say they end up playing that first round and Curtis Rorick gets hurt in the fourth quarter. Okay, they win the game, and then their next game is against Texas. Now they got to go to a backup. Then it's going to be, man, if they could have won the Big Ten, they would have had that bye, and then they would have had Curtis. That's what you're going to kind of hear if stuff like that happens. But, I'm not going to look too much into the AP poll. I don't really, based off the playoff ranking last week, the AP poll don't show you much other than who's ranked where and based off maybe how the rest of the teams fill in.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really going to be interesting. Keep an eye on where Indiana goes in that college football playoff ranking. It releases tomorrow night. Where they put Tennessee, but it really doesn't matter because Texas is right now going to have that spot because the SEC, their consensus, they're considering them the SEC champion. Where does Alabama go? Where does Ole Miss go? And does Georgia out, or does Georgia and Miami both still in, or is one of them out? That's going to be the key because if Georgia's out, then Miami can't make it in because they're both sitting with Georgia having the number one strength of schedule, 2 losses, one against a number 10 Ole Miss and one against the number 3 Texas. Miami's 1 loss to an unranked Georgia Tech.
You mean Bama?
Oh yeah, Bama. Sorry. And so it's going to be interesting there. And like I said, Georgia's 1 win, which is what I was kind of saying would be against number 3 Texas. So right now, looking at that, it looks like Georgia would have a better play from Miami's perspective than Miami does. Miami's looks like to me the ACC is going to hurt them.
Just like it did Florida State last year.
It very well could. But fun fact about Miami, I don't know if we're going to talk about that game or not, but a year ago this weekend they played Georgia Tech and they lost because they didn't kneel the football.
I think we talked about that for a long, long time.
So then Georgia Tech came back and beat them at their own place this weekend. So
we actually do have them on the docket.
Yeah,
actually,
so we'll talk
it's their
about
first
that.
game at a recap. Yep.
But let's just jump right into that. But you know what? Let's jump into your trip to Blacksburg.
Yeah. So I went to Blacksburg. Great place, great atmosphere, by the way. Shout out to Joe Lewis for sending me the itinerary the night before. Shout out to Brian Long for telling me all the places to go as well. Can definitely tell the Hokie Nation is faithful and dedicated. It was sold out for this game at Clemson. I mean, going into this game, Tech's 5-4. You can't go many places and your team's 5-4 and they still produce a sellout crowd. So, environment's great. The tailgating looked incredible. I didn't stop at any because we went to Benny's. Shout out to Benny's Pizza. No free shout outs, but it was great pizza. So we went there, ate some Benny's, and then we went on into the game. Stopped at they have like a little family area, so I got huts and some stuff right outside the stadium. Really nice. One cool thing about it is, that was my first time in Lane Stadium for about, I guess, 10 or 11 years, probably, maybe even longer, honestly. It was the first time I've been back. But the security is nowhere near what it is like when you go to Neyland. Like, I was able to walk all the way down to the bottom, right next to the field, get pictures. I got pictures of Dabo, Klubnik, like right on the field level. Saw Governor Glenn Youngkin over to the side, snapped a picture, easy peasy. I mean, I was right down at the bottom. Nobody said anything. They did not care. There was actually access to the field. Literally, there were steps. Nobody was guarding me. I probably could have just walked down and just started walking on the field until I got caught. Right. But, what I'm getting at is it was just so laid back. Even when the band finished playing at halftime, like, they just ran off the field back into the state, like back into their seats.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different environment.
I think that's how it is in Georgia. Like, Georgia, you can go all the way down.
That's what I'm saying. It's different each field you go. Guys, I was wearing a Tech hat. Shout out to Adam Taylor. No free shout outs, but he let me borrow a hat, and then I did borrow a shirt from my brother-in-law, JL. So I was ready. I had all the gear on. I even got told when a guy was walking up the stairs when I was in the stands, he told me, Tigers by Millie. It was very hard for me to tell him, Vols kicked your butt last year in a bowl game. But, I'm a Hokie fan at that point.
Right.
It's just so funny because you can literally wear a shirt and a hat, and suddenly you are a part of that. I mean, I was a diehard Hokie fan yesterday.
To all you guys that are not watching, that are listening.
Yeah. Turn on the camera. Turn on video.
I have my Georgia hat on. I have my Vols shirt on.
And but, it don't matter. It does not matter. And that's the cool thing about it. Hess and I, have talked about this. We want to go to different stadiums and stuff. And we're going to go to Boone's. That'll be a new one, too, for us. But we're going to hit up, like, West Virginia, Liberty, any local college that we can get to. We're going to try to go to. And just the environment and just take it all in. That's the best part of college football. But it's just so funny. I will say Clemson fans are pretty obnoxious and rude. I'm not going to lie.
Pretty terrible.
Pretty bad. I still like to go see a game in Clemson and probably deck out in Clemson gear just to see if it's any different. That'd be tough, but I'd do it.
I would hope that if we do that, we get to run down the hill with Dabo.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Enter Sandman, incredible. Electric environment. We did hit like 95 decibels. My Apple Watch was going crazy. So it did hit about 95 to 100 decibels. Pretty loud. I think they need some more seats there on the sides or something. Close it in. I think if they close it in, it's twice as loud.
Yeah.
They had the Army do a drop in. They, 4 guys flew in on their parachutes. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking awesome. And then they did Enter Sandman. Yeah, then Enter Sandman right after that. Just a lot of tradition there with the cadets and everything too at the start of the game. So as far as all that goes, that's incredible. The student section didn't get the memo about striping the sides. It was just like your donors and alumni and everybody that did the orange and maroon.
The map was not a complete.
Oh, okay. It was just on that. Okay, that makes sense.
The one end zone where the students are at with the scoreboard, that was all maroon, and then there's like 5 rows on the sides that was supposed to be maroon. The only places that was striped was on from the 35 to the 35.
It was kind of there, right? Yeah. It wasn't like fully there, but it was kind of there. But one thing I wanted to say, man, I mean, they're dedicated fan base, right? Huge fan base, ton of money there. They left in the third quarter. It was 21-7. Okay, Clemson scored 14 straight. You don't quit on your team. It's the third quarter. Like, you still have a whole nother quarter. I mean, 14 points isn't... I mean, you can come back for 14 points all day.
Right.
That kind of bothered me, being a Tennessee fan. Like, I've seen Tennessee fans do it too, but, like, you're there, you paid money, enjoy the game, and cheer for your team, man. Because it was like everybody left, and then just the whole morale. I mean, it was quiet. There was nobody around us.
Well, I mean, it was like I told you, like, I was watching the Georgia Ole Miss game, and me and Chris flipped back over to check on the Clemson Tech game, and it was like completely silent. It was like third quarter, 8 minutes to go in the third, and it was silent.
But here's the thing. I get it. I mean, Tech knows that, their fan base knows. They're like, we've seen this radio too much. But you got to stay there and support your team. I did like the third down is key, so they bring out their keys and shake the keys. That was fun. All around a great time. Other than the fans leaving, that kind of disappointed me. Like, I don't like to see that. But don't worry, you Hokie fans out there. I told them we'd get them next year. We'll get them next year.
As far as the Hokies go, quarterback play, Drones.
Drones is trash. Okay, not the same Drones as last year. He's regressed from last year. Couldn't read the defense worth of crap the entire game. They had 5 or 6 first downs. And going into the fourth quarter, they had, I think, 32 yards of rushing. Tootin couldn't get the ball moving. I mean, it was
sounds like Georgia's offense.
They put the backup in. I mean, he was at least getting first downs and juking out Clemson defenders. Like, he should play the whole game. If he played the whole game, I think we might be talking a little bit different story. And don't forget, Tech had the lead at half.
Yeah,
they were winning
7-0, right?
7-0 at half. Yeah, so it was a very defensive game. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but Clemson just wore them down, and Klubnik finally started playing pretty good in the second half, and kind of ran away with it.
Yeah,
the blocked field goal, by the way. Tech did block a field goal and returned it for 6. Yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen that in person, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And that place did erupt.
Oh, yeah.
It went crazy there. But, they ended up losing that game 24-14. That last 7 was just the insurance points. Yeah, it was a garbage touchdown. So now 5-5 on the season. They play Duke next week at Duke. And then they play Virginia at home to finish it out. So, and Virginia, of course, we're going to talk about it in a second, just upset Pitt. So, and Duke's no slouch.
Right.
So, my question to Hokie fans, if you're listening, I hope y'all let me know: do you want to lose out? Get a new coach? Is it time for Pry to go? It's his 3rd year. I mean, do you want to see what else is out there, or do you want to try to win these out, make a bowl game, and try to win a bowl game and do pretty much the exact same record as last year?
I mean, I don't think Pry is the problem. I think
I don't know, man. I don't know. They the talent they have and that defensive talent they have. And just from hearing the fans talk and stuff too, like I talked to a couple people, like I don't know, it's just like Brian said, they're happy if they just make it to a bowl game. That's not Tech.
Right.
That's not Beamer ball. Tell him, Riley. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was all around great trip though. We did eat that barbecue place, Mission 1, I think is what it's called. Mission 1 barbecue. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. So yeah, Christiansburg, cool place, fun place.
Nice. Sounds like a good trip, man.
Hey, I had a blast. I had a great time. And then, the Vols won, so it was a good day.
Vols won?
Yeah, the Vols won. Not that I care, because, apparently now I'm a Hokies fan.
Go Balls.
Had a couple people ask me what the heck I was doing in Hokie gear. That was pretty great. Told them I converted. I was just tired of the Vols. Tired
Why
of them.
not?
Why not?
Riley, hush your mouth.
I like having Riley here.
You hush. Come here, baby. Anyway,
man.
this is the game that I got the most hype for yesterday. You can ask Krista. I was up screaming at the TV, jumping up and down. The Georgia Tech Miami game was by far the best game that I watched all day yesterday.
Really?
Dude, it was phenomenal. I can't remember the dude's name.
It was back and forth, wasn't it?
It was, but Georgia Tech, they had one drive, which really just won the game for them in the second quarter. It was a 12-play, 13-minute drive.
Wow.
And that took a whole quarter away from Cam Ward in Miami. But
Smart.
They started getting a pass rush on Cam Ward. He was trying to do everything he could. They kept just knocking the crap out of him. Haynes King, quarterback for Georgia Tech, that dude is so tough. He can't throw the football because his arm, he dislocated his shoulder, so he can't throw any, but he can run. So when they need a throw, they put a true freshman in, and his last name is Repo, R-I-P-O. He broke every high school record that Trevor Lawrence had in the state of Georgia, and he went to Georgia Tech to be their backup quarterback this year. He's a true freshman. They put him in to pass, and he could rip the football. But Haynes King had 4 passes for 22 yards, but he had like 9 rushes for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Jeez.
And at the end of the game, both knees were bleeding. He had blood coming from his head. There was a hit in that game that I think the NCAA has got to – I think you touched base on this prior. These kids nowadays, man, they're not wearing their mouthpiece, and they're not wearing that chin strap tight. And this boy from Georgia Tech – and people don't think about it with the mouthpiece. You bite down on a mouthpiece, not only is it protecting you from concussions and your teeth, it's tethered to your helmet. So if you got that thing in, it may keep that helmet on. But what happened was – running back for Georgia Tech was running up the middle. Clemson defensive tackle grabbed his face mask and ripped it up. And as he ripped it up,
pulled it up,
a guy from Miami leaned with his head and hit him here, and his helmet popped off. But it missed it by a second. Like he would have hit him square in the nose with the crown of his helmet but it had popped up just enough to hit the face mask.
God.
Probably would have killed the poor boy. Not going to lie, not trying to say that here, but it probably – they were even talking about – Louis Riddick was talking about it on the game. He was like, that would have killed that poor boy. So them kids got it. You got strapped. They got to pass a rule.
Yeah, we have talked about that. You got to strap up. Yeah.
Because we're going to see somebody get killed on the football field. But Georgia Tech, man, they just wanted it more. At the end of that game, Cam Ward, Miami's offense, they couldn't do anything. I mean, Georgia Tech wanted it more.
Which we said Georgia Tech at the beginning of the season. I mean, we didn't know how Florida State was going to shape out, but we said Georgia Tech was definitely improved.
Yeah. Well,
they've been streaky this year.
Brent Key, former Georgia special teams coach, he has brought that Kirby smart man. That's what he said. He said, Kirby taught me how to bring mentality, and that's what we expect. We expect to go into each game, no matter who it is, that we're better than them. And
I love it.
They went out and just, I think, kind of proved what we've kind of been saying about Miami. I mean, it's on here. Are they overrated? I absolutely think so.
Maybe so. I mean, because technically they should have lost to Tech.
Yeah.
That'd be 2 losses. Cal could have been really questionable.
This was the fourth game of the year where they have trailed by more than 10 points.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Cam Ward's amazing.
Yes,
I think he's easily Heisman front.
They were saying Heisman front runner with him. He's
Heisman
got 34
front runner. I mean,
touchdown
put him
passes.
top three, right? But I do think he is the best quarterback in the ACC. So you can't overlook that. But one guy can't do it all, and that's going to prove. Miami's defense. I've seen some comments on our page about Miami's defense. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
That is the God-honest truth.
Which is a really weird thing about Miami. You think about Miami, you know they always usually have good DBs, good secondary, a beast of a linebacker.
I wouldn't say, in my opinion, personally, I don't think they're overrated.
I mean, I don't think they're overrated.
I think now,
ranked where they need to be.
they're at, that's where they need to be. Yeah. So,
I agree.
Man, another one here.
Yeah.
UGA.
Stunned in Oxford.
Yeah, Ole Miss, man, 28-10. It sounds like Ole Miss came to play. You just keep me updated. That's another thing. I want to shout out to Lane Stadium. Get your freaking Wi-Fi or something a little bit better up there. Like, the service is garbage.
You would think it would be good at the engineering school.
I wanted to do a live or something. I wanted to put freaking Inner Sandman on the page. Couldn't do that. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't get messages out. Nothing. Hess could send me messages, but I couldn't get – it was hard as crap to get a message sent back to him.
Yeah. Yeah, the Georgia game, man, it was raining, but started out great. First play of the game, Dart gets sacked. Next play of the game, Dart gets sacked. Next play, he gets rushed. He starts to get sacked. He throws it away. Georgia picks it off, takes it back to about the 3-yard line. Georgia runs
about their highlight, wasn't it?
Georgia runs it in, 3-yard touchdown. Robinson with the touchdown. And then after that, it was just kind of like, Jackson Dart went out. they put a true freshman in at quarterback, and he went 7 plays, 72 yards, and scored a touchdown. And from that point on, Ole Miss really didn't look back. Carson Beck didn't play too bad, but I will say this, and I didn't realize this. Georgia is number 2 in the country in drop passes. They have 37 drop passes as a wide receiver unit this year, only 2 behind UAB, who had 39. That was coming into yesterday. They were countless passes dropped yesterday. So I kind of get where it's coming from. Carson Beck don't have no trust in his receivers and stuff like that. But, I mean, props to Lane Kiffin.
Beck still had some turnovers in this game, right?
He had one interception at the end.
Okay.
I think he may have got sack fumbled maybe once, but I think – no, he didn't. He had one. He had the interception. That was it. But, I mean, first time Kirby's lost to a team not named Alabama since 2021. First time Lane Kiffin has beat a top-ranked top 2 opponent. It's the first time.
Here's a fun fact for you. First time since 2020, y'all have had 2 losses.
Yep.
In a season.
First time since
regular season.
Ole Miss first time Ole Miss has ever beat a number 2 team in the country at home. Last time that they did it was against Alabama at Alabama. Fun fact, the first ever national televised game was in 1967 when Arch Manning was the quarterback for Ole Miss. And they were playing in Tuscaloosa. That was the first ever national televised. No, it was just the first ever national televised college football game.
That's awesome.
It had to come on. It came on after one of them dating shows that they used to have back in the 60s. I can't remember what one it was called, The Love Game or something like that.
Nice.
And they had to schedule it for 9:30 at night because CBS had everything booked up with game shows and the nightly news, so they had to put college football on. Prime time was 9:30 at night.
9:30.
Yep.
Came a long way since then.
But I will say, I mean, Ole Miss looked good. Jackson Dart played very well. That defense, leading the country in sacks.
See why. That front four is good.
I think they had 6 sacks on Carson Beck this game. It was good. I mean, they just dominated. They dominated. And
shout out to the fans, too, for storming the field with 16 seconds left. That looked real classy.
SEC commissioner said if that happens again, they're going to pass a thing to where the game is automatically forfeited and the opposing fan base team gets the win. So,
ouch. Wouldn't that suck?
Well, I kind of get it, too. I mean, what would 16 seconds left in the game. Not saying them fans are going to do it. Not saying any fan will do it, but you have some drunk, crazy people out there. What would it take to somebody go out there and like grab Carson Beck and beat the crap out of hit him with something, or hit Kirby Smart, or hit Lane Kiffin?
Anything. They're still out there.
And then after they got everybody off the field, Georgia had to vacate their sideline, and so did Ole Miss because the fans couldn't get back on the field, so they were literally standing on the sideline.
So it took how long did it take to get the game to?
It took about another 5-10 minutes for them to get everybody cleaned off, but they couldn't get it back on the field, back in the stand, so they stayed right on the sideline. Like, you literally had Kirby Smart and the entire fan base behind him, and then you had Lane Kiffin and the entire fan base. The whole sideline. There was no sideline.
I saw where Lane was really pissed.
Yeah, he was mad about that, but he was very emotional after that. They tried to interview him. He was tearing up. It was a big win for him. Big win for that program. Way to go. Good job, Ole Miss.
Wasn't even close.
Really wasn't. I mean, they dominated. I think Georgia had like 96 yards of offense in the game. I think they finished like 200, but I think up until the fourth quarter, it was like 96 yards. Jeez. Ole Miss had almost 400 yards. They absolutely dominated.
Yeah. Ole Miss, man. One of them teams. Yep. Also Kentucky. Weird.
It's been that kind of year.
SEC.
Here's another shocker. I didn't realize this until I was looking. UVA, shout out to the Cavs and Cameron and
this one.
Tyler Bailey and all you UVA fans out there. Big win here. Beat Pittsburgh 24-16.
24-19.
Oh, 25. Sorry, I went weirdly dyslexic there.
It's all right, man.
I flipped the 9.
Flip the 9. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
24-19. It was back and forth pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
This game went pretty late. I think it went like 10, 11 o'clock. So, Virginia pulled it out, man. Now improves to 5-4 on the season.
Yeah.
And a very good chance to make a bowl.
Very good chance. Very, very good chance.
I don't know how Hokies feeling about that. Virginia's got a better record right now.
Makes that game really important.
Yeah, last game of the season.
Yeah.
Very important. Another one here. Kind of expected this. Texas
destroyed.
Obliterates
Florida. Yeah.
Destroyed them.
I watched that game. I started out. I think I texted you. Florida came to play. That was literally it. They came to play the first 3 minutes of that game, and then they quit.
That was it, man. 49-17 was the final. As a final.
Yeah.
It's early this morning, guys. We can't talk. Penn State crushes Washington. No one cares. 35-6. Yeah. No one cares.
Vols. Go Vols, baby.
Go Vols, baby. Secure a key victory. Update on Nico is he is expected to play against Georgia.
Was it a
It was
concussion?
precautionary taking him out at halftime. They could have played apparently, but it's precautionary saving him for next week. Not a concussion. If it's ruled a concussion, he couldn't play. But it wasn't a concussion. They said an upper body injury. A lot of people thought it was his collarbone or his shoulder. Because if you watch that hit right before the half, he's in 2 snaps after that, then he goes out. But it should have been roughing the passer, and they didn't call it because he did hit pretty high right after he threw the ball, and he's running over to his right. But yeah, he is expected to play. They fully expect him to play against Georgia, so that's huge. He looked like he turned a page there. He was looking pretty good.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and underappreciate what he did, but I will say, it was Mississippi State.
It was.
It was at home.
Mississippi State was giving him a run game, man. Mississippi State, their running back had 125 yards.
Yeah, but your running back had 139 on 40 carries.
145, I thought.
On 40.
He broke his own record. He had a lot of carries. Well, we leaned on the run game in the second half, obviously.
Yeah. So
that turned to our best player.
That was great to see. Love that.
Also, speaking of the best player that Tennessee's had, on their offense all year, he cracked top 10 in Heisman rankings. Finally, he's 8th.
Yep.
About time, dude. He's got 20 touchdowns.
Well, it's kind of hard to make him the Heisman anywhere in the Heisman candidacy.
Sure, because you got I get
no. Tennessee did it to themselves. At the beginning of the year, it was, hey, we're paying Nico $8 million. He was the only Heisman person anybody was talking about on Tennessee. Tennessee, Nico. Then Nico fell off, and it's like, okay, Tennessee don't have a Heisman candidate. Nobody was looking at Dylan Sampson.
Well, Dylan Sampson he went over 1,000 yards on the season this game. I think he's got like 1,100 and something now. So.
Fun fact: 7 straight years in Coach Heupel's coaching career that he has had 2,000 yards rushing as a team. He did it 4 straight years at UCF, and now he's done it 3 straight years at Tennessee.
Wow.
He's the only coach in college football history to say that.
I think Tennessee found their guy.
Tony Vitello, absolutely.
Yes, Tony Vitello in baseball, because that's what we're talking about. Absolutely. He's a funny guy on the sidelines, man.
He is.
Seems like a funny guy just all time.
Yeah. Indiana.
Fun guy. Indiana.
Remains undefeated. How about Indiana?
I thought they was going to lose when I was watching this score.
Yeah, yep. And then they decided just to keep on playing, baby.
Yeah, 1 by 5 over Michigan.
Yep.
Michigan falls to 5-5. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
5-5, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Ouch. Talk about a reverse.
Yeah, but I mean,
an Uno reverse card, man. Shoo.
Granted, they lost 21 players off that national championship team, lost all their head coach, all their coaching
It's going to be a rebuilding year. No
reason they should have been ranked in the top 10 to start the year.
No. God, no. That was just hype from last year.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Indiana, man.
Yeah, I love it. Love seeing what they're doing. Love seeing Indiana do this.
Nobody expect this.
They're fun to watch. They're really fun to watch.
They're definitely the Cinderella of the season.
Yeah, very much so. It's good to see. We're interested to see what they can do when they get in the playoff, because they're pretty much a lock at this point.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. BYU. A lot of scrutiny.
Kicked by Utah, man.
Don't know if you've seen it, but the AD for Utah spoke after the game and said that they were going to investigate the Big 12 for their shitty refs and their shitty play calling or shitty officiating, and that he was sick. He was sick and tired of referees determining games, because apparently, and I looked at it, honestly, it probably go both ways, but what happened was, end of the game, BYU's got the football. They're down 19 to 21. They got the ball on their own 2-yard line. Quarterback snaps the ball. Quarterback for BYU rolls out into the end zone. He gets hit in the end zone. He comes out and then comes back in as he's getting pulled down and falls into the end zone.
So you're thinking safety?
Every ref says safety. The one on the 2 field goal and the one in the back. But the back judge on the defensive side of the ball said that forward progress was stopped when he made it out by the inches. But you look at the replay, the ball never came out of the end zone. The body did, but the ball never did. Well, then you look at it. He actually fumbled the football. Utah recovered it. You could see that Utah recovered it. But then they ruled that he made it out and stopped the play. Forward progress was stopped.
Gosh.
So they didn't rule it. BYU ends up driving downfield and kicks the field goal to win the football game.
Jeez.
Big 12 came out late Sunday night.
I'd probably lose it.
They came out late
probably
Sunday
lose
night and said there will be suspensions, there will be fines, and they do not appreciate the scrutiny of not only their conference or their officials, but they also said they sent an invitation out to Utah to join this. If they don't want to be part of it, there's a way to get out of it, but they got to own up to it.
Here's my thing. JL said this on a ride up to Blacksburg yesterday. I thought it'd be great. There needs to be like press conferences after the game for every call that a ref makes that's bad, and they need to explain why they made that call. That'd be great.
It will be great, except for it would be absolutely terrible for the ref and his family, because when he gets death threats and gets possibly killed.
No. I'm saying like a post press game, just like they do with the players and coaches. You have the refs come in and you ask them, like, if it was certain, like that right there, if it was a key play to the game, it caused Utah to lose, because obviously that did. Have them come in and explain why they picked that call.
No.
What made the change?
I think it's just for the safety of the refs. That's why they don't have something like that.
Well, here's the thing. I think if you have that presser, if the ref knows he has that presser, he's not going to make that controversial call. He's not going to make it.
But I think that then you have that on the end of it, though. You take out what makes baseball, basketball, anything that has refs with eyes. I mean, it takes away human error. I mean, we all watch a sporting event knowing that no human is perfect and humans are going to make mistakes.
Sure.
And then you start having that, I think it makes the calls even, like, instead of having 15-minute delay to figure out the review, it's going to be 30 minutes, because this dude's like, if I don't get this right, not only am I going to be in front of the national news and the media, my family's probably going to have to get security, because they're probably going to get shot, because the Tennessee Vols or the Georgia Bulldogs, that fan base is going to go after them for everything. So I love the idea. Not hating the idea, but I could see the repercussions, because then not only – because it takes time to figure out who these refs are. Because they don't even name them anymore. They don't even name who the refs are anymore. They just tell
anytime you have change, it's going to be pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
So I can see the pros, I see the cons, like you're saying. But, I mean, I do think it would be beneficial, even if it wasn't the ref. Let's just say they had somebody that, like, set up in the stands, right?
Yeah.
And he was, like, the head committee of the refs. And he came in and he did this is why my guys called this.
Okay, I like that better than.
How about that? I just came up with that on the spot.
I like that better than having well, I think, honestly,
you have a representative.
The commissioner of the conference, because every conference is in charge of their own refs. That's why you see ACC refs ref SEC games.
I just think they need to be held liable, because I think, a lot of these refs have been proven too, to throw money at these teams and stuff. I mean, that's definitely came out.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I mean, it makes you question, especially if you watch the NFL. It definitely makes you question. Yeah, but I won't get into that because I don't care about the NFL. But
you do.
Yeah.
You're Steelers, man.
I do. I like my Steelers. But, yeah. That's that. And I think that would help a lot with some of these calls.
But, yeah, guys.
That's crazy, though. Should have been safety.
Final in that one, BYU 22-21. Me and you both predicted BYU to blow them out. By the way, the name of this game, I didn't know it till last night. This is called the Holy War. This battle is called the Holy War.
Sounds like they almost had a Holy Spirit war.
Yeah, sounds like they did. Next big game. This game was before this one. This was the big game yesterday where game day was, or Saturday where game day was at. Bama.
Game.
Did you hear Pat McAfee on game day?
Yes.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did
Clear as day.
He did it with Brian Kelly on the same broadcast. Like, no, I ain't part of this.
Yeah.
That was great. Pat McAfee is a national treasure. By the way, guys, if you didn't watch game day yesterday and you just want to take a moment to get a good cry out, watch the tribute they did for Kurt Herbstreit's dog Ben.
Yeah.
And Kurt, and everybody's tearing me up right now. Like Kurt crying, just what it meant to him, Ben, and just that was a lot. That was a lot to take in. Like, if you don't cry during that, I'm just going to tell you probably don't have no heart or any kind of feelings.
You have no feelings. You are cold inside.
But this game, Bama came out and they just dominated from the first quarter to the end. Wasn't much of a game. LSU, that place was quiet. They blew them out.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, 42-13 was the final. What does this mean? LSU's out.
Yep.
Brian Kelly again, just on the cusp of something and then can't pull it out. DeBoer doing what he's got to do to get Bama to the playoffs. And I'll be honest with you, Bama's probably not that team you want to draw in that playoff match.
Maybe.
I mean, they're that team. They're that team. Like when we look at any kind of playoffs, you're like, who's the team that you don't want to play because everybody's kind of written them off or not really paying attention. I think that's Alabama.
Maybe.
But I would say Bama's probably the best two-loss program out there right now. I think you got the number 2 quarterback, draft quarterback right now. Mel Kiper's number 2 is Jalen Milroe. The rushing game is over.
I think you got to put Ole Miss in that talk too.
I don't put Ole Miss there because
really?
Bama has been inconsistently good. Ole Miss has been either really, really good or they've been dog crap bad at times. Bama's run game is turned on over the last 3 weeks. They're leading the SEC in rushing. Jalen Milroe's passing game, he's the number 1 quarterback in QBR over the last 3 weeks in the SEC. They're doing what they got to do. They're figuring out what they got to do. They're scary. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they still got Auburn coming up. Going to be interesting. I don't think, could be wrong, I don't think they can make the SEC title game unless Georgia beats Tennessee. If Georgia beats Tennessee, then that gives Texas the automatic thing, and then you have the tiebreaker between Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, or Texas A&M.
It's like a 6-way tie.
But at that point, Georgia would get the automatic bid because they have the number 1 strength of schedule in the country because it goes down to strength of schedule and common opponent. They beat Bama. If they beat Tennessee, they would have Bama, Tennessee on that one. Ole Miss wouldn't be able to light a candle to them because of strength of schedule. So Georgia would get it there, and you'd have a rematch of Texas-Georgia. So the 6-way tie would go in favor. But I don't know what Georgia does down the road here. They've got some issues other than just Carson Beck. They got an offensive line that's pretty much dog shit. So we'll see what happens there. Defense is pretty bad too. But it's interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for this next one here we're talking about here, though. Boise versus Nevada, another big game. 28-21. Boise did exactly what they had to do. Gentry ran the ball very well in this game. Nevada has the number 4 overall defense in college football. They hung 28 points on them. That's pretty impressive. I don't know. Overrated? That's what you got on here? Boise State? Absolutely not. I think I have them in the Final Four. I have Boise State in the Final Four.
I don't. Not after this game, no.
I think
if they run into a defensive team,
I don't think there's a team in the country that can stop Genty, and I think they're going to get their yards with him no matter what. So I think they make the Final Four. So, but right now it'll be interesting because right now you'd have to go to Boise if you draw them in the first round.
That'd be terrible. Imagine going to Boise when it's like -5
on the blue field,
snow.
So it's going to be interesting. It'll be. I mean, that's what's going to make this playoff so great. But I just think they have that makeup. They have a bunch of seniors. If they would have been able to keep that Trent Green or whatever his name is that plays for Arkansas, they would have kept him. Man, that offense would have been great. But he graduated. It's time he had an opportunity. Colorado
wins again.
They win again, and now they control their own destiny.
They really do. 41-27 over Texas Tech. My question here is, watch out.
They got some momentum.
They humming, man. I saw Shador had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Travis Hunter's playing really good.
Travis Hunter had 100 reception yards, 99 reception yards.
Thing with Colorado, if I was them, I mean, Deion's going to do his own thing, but if I am talking to that team, let's not put our cart before our horses here. We've not been there. Let's not act like we have. Let's not act like we're world beaters. I get it. Colorado last year was the best season they had in the last 15 years. This year's the best season they've had since they had Cordell Stewart at quarterback in the 90s. I understand the hype. I understand what's going on. Shador Sanders is probably the best quarterback talent-wise in college football. I think you put him on any team. You put him on Tennessee. You put him on Georgia. You put him on Virginia Tech. I think he is a winner. He's got that ability.
Mentality.
He does, and he's got that Sanders confidence.
This team really turned it around, man. Because at the beginning of the season, me and you both were talking mad crap about them.
And they have. They turned it around on all aspects. They're believing in themselves. They're playing good. They have a great
Here's my
run
thing,
game.
though. I can actually tolerate Colorado right now because the media isn't hyping them up like they did.
I will say this. I had a video sent to me by one of our listeners. Colorado denied. Apparently, Texas Tech makes these shirts before every game. I guess those games for the shirts. And they had one with the American flag. It was going to have each logo draped in an American flag. Colorado said absolutely not. They don't want any of their branding tied to the American flag. So they were not on the shirt at all for this game. So that kind of was interesting to me. I didn't know. I've tried to look more into it. I think it's because they have a copyright. I think Dion and Colorado, they have a copyright. I think Dion has all control over Colorado's image and likeness, and they didn't want to have anybody else have control of their own logos.
American flag, huh?
But that was the video. That was what showed, and the guy who was designing the shirts gave out the information who he had talked to. Colorado did admit to that being true. So I don't know. There's probably more to it. I don't know, but that kind of was kind of like, yeah, I don't really like that much.
I don't like that at all.
But yeah, man, college football is wild. I mean, guys, I'm sitting here wearing a Vols shirt, and we're playing the Vols this weekend in Athens. Game day's coming to Athens. Going to be a wild environment. I had an opportunity to go to Neyland last night. I had a ticket offered to me during Braxton's football game.
Should have went.
Didn't want to go.
Been fun.
It's not the same. I had a chance to go Tech. I had a ticket off to him, but we're going to go to that game. But I'm interested to see. I know we're going to talk more about it. This is a Vols hate week. This is Bulldog hate week for you. It's going to be interesting. But
your quarterback looks like Sid off Ice Age. How about that?
And Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm just going to start there. And what type of quarterback has a sleeve?
There have been several. Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, but Johnny was a dog.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel's a dog.
Nico's got a half, don't he?
He's a dog. He can.
There have been some others. Some of them Hawaiian guys.
Those guys can have that.
Colt Brennan. Rest in peace. He was awesome.
I'm just kidding, guys. I don't care. I like the sleeve.
Stetson Bennett. The mailman.
Who?
The mailman.
The guy that doesn't even play in the NFL? Yeah.
Hey, back up.
Yeah.
They have him, actually, if Stafford does retire, McVay said that he is the quarterback.
He's the guy?
Yep.
I'd like to see him do well.
That would be awesome. As a walk-on and make it to him. I mean, he'd be following the Baker Mayfield way.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, man, college football is wild.
Georgia.
It was interesting, so I'm excited. College football's been really fun this year. I am really pumped for some of these games. I'm pumped to continue to watch Indiana Army. I think they draw Notre Dame coming up here pretty soon, so it's gonna be interesting. MLB.
Yeah, real quick. This guy, man, he popped up on my radar. Rocky Sasaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Kawasaki either, in case y'all wondered. It's coming to MLB this upcoming season. Best pitcher in Japan, only 23 years old.
Interesting.
It's going to be like Yamamoto from last year. But he came up when he was 25.
The Marlins, they hired a new coach. They hired the first base coach for the Dodgers.
Ooh.
McClue. Can't really say his whole name. McClue. The Reds honor Pete Rose with a stadium visitation for the fans.
Should have put him in the Hall of Fame.
The guy you're talking about, he is posted to MLB teams, and right now it's looking like the Dodgers are the primo spot for him to land.
Of course.
The Yankees pick up the option on Boone. He will be returning for 2025. That is
thank God. I can't wait to not hit another World Series.
Phillies
thanks for telling me that. Good night.
The Phillies promote Preston Mattingly to GM.
Done.
My Lord.
Good night.
Wow. Losing a lot here. Castle's gone, guys. That's it. Well, obviously, guys, he doesn't like Boone. He's not a Boone fan. Doesn't like Boone. He's pretty much tired of Boone. Hates Boone. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on in MLB right now. There is I did see earlier this week the Yankees met with some of Pete Alonso's people. They've been in contact with him. As far as the Braves go, there's a lot of ties to them either getting going for Blake Snell, Corbin Burns, and Willie Adames. Other things going on. First time, I think, ever that the New York Yankees don't have an infielder with a Gold Glove.
We had 3 finalists.
Yep, but they said that. I think I seen that this week. MVPs looking like it's going to be Ohtani, and then I can't remember who they said in the AL. Oh, a Judge.
Oh, Judge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. I like how you did that.
I really know. I seriously had forgot. Like I was drawing a complete blank.
I forget about Aaron Judge too. All the time.
Did he play in the playoffs?
He dropped the ball.
Literally. Hey, at least you made it. Reggie Jackson steps down.
I'm not even a Yankees fan, man. I like the Braves.
Welcome, buddy.
I like the Guardians, actually.
Yeah,
Hang on. You just keep talking.
I like the Guardians. I like the Reds. I like the Orioles, the Phillies, the Pirates, the Tigers, and the Guardians. And the Broncos. And the Bulldogs. And the Vols. I got no Yankee stuff here.
I'd like to now announce my fanhood change. I am a Braves fan. How about that? That's how quick it can happen.
Yep.
Just like that.
That's how quick it can happen, man. Sports are great. That's what makes it great.
Sports. And Yankees.
But yeah, we have on here Reggie Jackson steps down from the Astros front office, 78 years old.
Yep.
The big talks here, where is Soto going? And there's
Mets.
a lot of steam. It's the Mets. But I have heard there is a team that nobody is talking about that is willing to offer everything they've got and then some. It's an unknown team, but apparently there's somebody out there that's been eyeing him for a couple of years, and they're willing to offer the farm and the bank to get Soto. And apparently it's a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in the last 3 years.
Oh, hasn't been in the playoffs.
Yeah, non-playoff team for the last 3 years. But they wouldn't say who. Nobody knows who that team technically is. So my guess is I'm going to say Cincinnati Reds.
I think the Reds would empty the pocket.
They don't have enough money.
Ain't no way.
Because I seen the Mets
Chicago.
are off.
Cubs.
I seen the Mets offer is like they're saying the rumors are the Mets offer for Soto's 5 years, $725 million. That would make him the highest paid player in MLB history.
Yeah, I hope the Yankees pass on that.
Let's put that in perspective just for a second. Just if he gets, what'd I say?
5 years, $725 million.
725 divided by 5. That's $145 million per.
Mm.
Not counting probably incentives he would get and stuff.
That means he's making almost $1 million a game.
Yeah, just about it.
Almost $1 million a game.
Yep. So that I mean, I don't know. My gut, I'll be honest with you, my gut says he comes back to the Yankees.
Which I'm okay with, but I don't want to lock in that and then I'll be able to go get pitch. We need some pitching. We need another closer.
Not knocking Soto, not knocking him. I mean, I know this is a completely different time, completely different age, but I feel like you guys lock him down for whatever that contract, because I did see the Yankees are willing to do a 10-year deal with him, 10 to 15-year deal with him. That's another Stanton deal. And great, the Stanton deal the first 5 years was pretty good. It wasn't Stanton of the Marlins, but it was still pretty good. But they've been times here in these last 7 years with Stanton.
It's just the DH now.
Yeah. So you get into those long-term deals, 10, 15 years, I mean, you're locked in when he's crippled at the end.
Yeah, they come back to bite you.
And he is an outfielder. But we'll see. MLB, I mean, free agency is going on. I mean, something could happen right now. I'll check my phone, make sure nothing's happened right now.
I don't think so.
I got nothing so far in the MLB. But, yeah, NBA, though, the Cavs.
Cavs, man.
Doing big things, man. They're 11-0 and absolutely just torching everybody they play. The Knicks lost to the Pacers, 132 to 121. They're struggling. Other games that happened Sunday, you had Memphis playing Portland. You had Miami and Minnesota. I think Miami had a game winner to beat them, 95-94. Houston beat Detroit 101 to 99. The big game today, just because of talent-wise, was the Celtics absolutely pretty much dominated. The score was a lot closer. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks 113 to 107. Milwaukee falls to 2-8 on the season. Rumors are that Antetokounmpo is seeking trade, and the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks are the top playing.
Go to Dallas. That'd be nice.
Him in a Heat jersey would be nice too.
Yeah, either one. Either one of those.
KD is out for at least 2 weeks with a calf strain. What's new? KD can barely make it through a game. Holmgren left the Oklahoma City game today with a hard fall with a hip injury. Celtics, Brown calls Giannis a child after a fake gesture. I don't know what happened. I guess Antetokounmpo said something to him in Greek.
You say Giannis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Wemby, in rare air, he had 6 threes and 7 blocks.
I thought it was Giannis. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
His first name's Giannis.
I call him Giannis. Okay? Because this is America. Ja Morant, week to week with a hip injury, and Bronny makes his G League debut and is excited to play and says it's a great opportunity. Bronny is no longer in the NBA. He is in the G League.
Saw that coming.
Yep. It took him 43 seconds to score his first points. He got 40. He had finished with 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 steals.
Nice.
In his G League debut.
Nice. Solid.
Other news, NFL,
Mm-hmm.
Steelers, big win today, or Sunday.
28-27.
28-27. Mike Williams, who they just acquired, said he'd been spending extra time with Russell Wilson this past week to get that chemistry and confidence up, and it ended up paying off very well for them.
Oh, yeah.
He scored a game-winning touchdown for them. Incredible catch by George Pickens, former Georgia Bulldog. Incredible catch by him. Big win for them. Broncos lost a heartbreaker, blocked field goal as time expired. They lost 16-14 after being up 14-3 earlier in the game. Minnesota squeaks by a close one, 12-7 against Jacksonville. Jacksonville wore white helmets. I didn't really like them that much. New Orleans finally gets a win after firing Dennis Allen as head coach. They get him a win. They beat the Falcons 20-17.
That's a big win.
Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers lost to the San Francisco 49ers 23-20. Brock Purdy had a hell of a game. Buffalo finally starting to play full force. Offense looking great. Defense looking great. Beat the Indianapolis Colts. Absolutely destroyed Joe Flacco. They won 30-20. Chicago Bears chanted firing their coach. They were screaming to fire him during this game. New England wins this game 19-3. Drake May gets his first win as an NFL starter. Mason Rudolph does everything he can in this game for the Tennessee Titans, but they end up losing 27-17.
That's 2 weeks in a row for Mason Rudolph.
Yep, he started the last two. Philadelphia goes into Dallas and destroys him. Dak Prescott is out for the season. He has to have surgery on his hamstring, so he is done for the year. Cowboys done for the year as well.
Man, great move by Jerry Jones again.
Cowboys dropped to 3-6. Philadelphia won 34-6. Arizona absolutely takes out the hammer and beats the New York Jets 31-6. Monday night game, you got the Miami Dolphins versus the Los Angeles Rams. Who you got now, bud?
Tua's back, right?
Tua is back.
Give me Dolphins.
Going Dolphins. Thursday night game, big game there. Baltimore ended up winning 35-34 because the referees screwed the Bengals, in my personal opinion. That game, though, was probably the best game that Burrow's had in his career. He was 34-56 for 428 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 11 receptions for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the NFL absolutely just screwed him at the end. Terrible call. If you don't believe me, go back and watch it. And other news.
Scripted.
As you guys know, we do record on Sunday night, but as of right now, Houston is up 16-7 going into halftime on the Detroit Lions.
Oh, wow. That's a big game.
But, yeah, big game there. Houston's got some really nice all-red jerseys. They're really sexy. Last thing I got, guys.
Sexy red.
No, unless you got anything you want to throw in on the NFL.
Nah, I don't care about the NFL.
All right, last thing I got, Joey Logano wins the NASCAR championship. He ended up winning the race at Phoenix, beat Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney tried to catch him. Ryan Blaney finished second. Ryan Blaney will finish second points. Joey Logano becomes the 10th driver all time to have 3 or more championships in NASCAR history. This is 3 championships in a row for Team Penske. Logano won in 2022. Ryan Blaney won in 23. And Joey Logano wins again in 2024. Also, the lawsuit, if you do follow NASCAR, it's going on between 23XI, Front Row Motorsports, and NASCAR. The judge ruled against their injunction. And as of right now, Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan said they may not be able to race next year because if NASCAR doesn't give them the charters, they won't have a team. And it's to be determined right now. And Martin Truex Jr. raced his final race of his career. He is effectively retired from NASCAR. This was his last race. He said he may try to do some part-time stuff next year, some big races. Outside of that, man, random sports news, anything else? I ain't got much. Ain't got nothing really. You got anything else? Final thoughts?
Nah, man. Final thoughts is thank y'all for listening. Keep following us on our social media.
Yeah, keep following us on everything, all of our socials. Trey Bunn, yeah, you're getting the 50. That's all I got, man.
Yeah,
great episode.
Great episode.
Glad you had fun in Blacksburg.
I had a blast. Great time. It's always fun up in Saxburg.
Yeah. But, guys, we do appreciate everything, guys. Y'all coming by and listening to us. We love every minute of it. You guys take it easy. Be good out there. Be safe. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your Monday. Do me a favor personally. Find somebody, make them smile, make them laugh, and be a good person.
Be a good person. End it on that.
Yep. See y'all.